13 Stoic Lessons by Marcus Aurelius that will change your life. Stay calm and mentally strong. Stoicism. Your life does not become peaceful when circumstances improve. It becomes peaceful when your mind becomes stronger. Stress, criticism, financial pressure, betrayal, uncertainty. These are not modern problems. They existed in ancient Rome, and they were faced daily by one of the most powerful men in history. Marcus Aurelius ruled the Roman Empire during war, plague, and political chaos. Yet he wrote private notes to himself about discipline, calmness, and mental strength. Those notes later became meditations, one of the most influential books in Stoic philosophy. He did not write to impress anyone. He wrote to control himself. In this video, you will learn 13 Stoic lessons from Marcus Aurelius that will help you stay calm, focused, and mentally strong in a world full of noise and pressure. If you want practical Stoic wisdom that you can apply immediately, subscribe to this channel now. You will find disciplined philosophy here, not empty motivation. Let's begin. 1. Control your mind or it will control you. Marcus Aurelius constantly reminded himself that external events are not the problem. Your reaction is. You cannot control other people. You cannot control outcomes. You cannot control the past. You can control your thoughts. Mental strength begins with awareness. Notice your reaction before you speak or act. Pause. Choose reason over impulse. When you master your mind, you master your life. Marcus Aurelius wrote meditations as personal discipline, not philosophy for display. He trained himself to examine every emotional reaction: anger, fear, frustration. He asked whether the feeling came from facts or from interpretation. That habit protected his judgment under pressure. Most people react automatically. Someone criticizes them, and they respond emotionally. A plan fails, and they spiral into doubt. This lack of control weakens focus and stability. When you let emotions lead, you surrender authority over your own behavior. Control begins with observation. Notice the first thought that appears in a stressful moment. Question it. Is this useful? Is this accurate? Is this within my control? This pause creates space between stimulus and response. That space is power. Training your mind requires repetition. You will not master actions overnight, but each time you choose reason over impulse, you strengthen mental discipline. Over time, calm becomes natural. You stop being controlled by circumstances. A disciplined mind filters noise, resists manipulation, and stays aligned with principle. When your thoughts are deliberate, your actions become precise. That precision builds confidence and stability in every area of your life too. Focus only on what you can control. This lesson echoes throughout meditations. Energy wasted on uncontrollable events weakens you. Instead of asking why this happened, ask what you can do next. Direct your attention toward effort, preparation, and discipline. Control effort, release outcomes. Meditations repeatedly returns to one idea. Separate what is up to you from what is not. When you blur that line, you create frustration. When you respect it, you conserve strength. Clear thinking begins with clear boundaries. Most stress comes from trying to manage results. You want guarantees, you want certainty, but results depend on timing, other people, and conditions outside your authority. When you obsess over them, you lose focus on the only leverage you have, your actions. Shift your questions. Not will this succeed but did I prepare fully? Not will they approve but did I execute with integrity? These questions pull your attention back to effort. Effort is measurable. Effort is trainable. Effort compounds. When you release outcomes, performance improves. Anxiety drops because you are no longer fighting uncertainty. You act with clarity. You adjust when needed. Over time, this discipline creates steady progress and stronger mental resilience. 3. Do your duty without complaining. Marcus Aurelius woke up each morning reminding himself that he would meet difficult people, yet he still chose to perform his duty. Stop waiting for ideal conditions. Do what must be done. Complaints drain power. Action builds it. Marcus Aurelius prepared his mind before the day began. He expected resistance, criticism, and incompetence from others. By anticipating difficulty, he removed surprise. That preparation allowed him to stay steady and continue his responsibilities without emotional reaction. Most people delay action because conditions are not perfect. They wait for motivation, support, or easier circumstances. This mindset weakens discipline. Progress rarely happens in comfort. It happens when you execute despite inconvenience. Complaining feels productive, but it solves nothing. It keeps your attention on what is wrong instead of what must be done. Each complaint reinforces helplessness. Each completed task reinforces capability. Action shifts your focus from frustration to progress. Make duty your priority, not mood. Identify your responsibilities clearly. Execute them without drama. Over time, this habit builds reliability and mental toughness. You become someone who performs regardless of external pressure. That consistency strengthens character and earns respect. 4. Accept reality without resistance. Reality does not change because you dislike it. Acceptance is not weakness, it is clarity. When you accept facts, you respond intelligently. Resistance creates frustration. Acceptance creates strategy. Marcus Aurelius wrote that events themselves are neutral. Your judgment labels them good or bad. When you argue with what has already happened, you waste energy. When you accept it, you regain control over your response. Resistance often hides in thoughts like this should not be happening or this is unfair. Those thoughts keep you stuck. They delay problem solving. Acceptance removes emotional distortion and allows you to see the situation as it is. Clarity improves decision making. Once you accept the facts, you can ask better questions. What options remain? What action is still available? What lesson can be learned? This shift transforms frustration into forward movement. Acceptance also builds emotional stability. You stop reacting dramatically to setbacks. You expect change, difficulty, and uncertainty because they are part of life. That expectation protects your peace. When you cooperate with reality instead of fighting it, you move faster, you adapt, you adjust, you improve. Strategy replaces complaint, and discipline replaces emotional resistance. 5. See obstacles as training. The obstacle is the way. Every problem develops patience. Every delay builds discipline. Every setback reveals weakness. If you treat life as training, nothing is wasted. Marcus Aurelius wrote that what stands in the path becomes the path. Obstacles are not interruptions of progress. They are the material that shapes progress. When you change your interpretation, difficulty becomes development. Most people label obstacles as unfair barriers. That mindset creates frustration and avoidance. A Stoic mindset asks a different question. What skill is this challenge demanding from me? Patience, planning, emotional control, persistence. Each obstacle exposes areas that need strengthening. Delays train endurance. Criticism trains emotional restraint. Failure trains analysis. If you approach problems as structured practice, you extract value from every experience. Nothing becomes meaningless. Even setbacks become instruction. This mindset removes fear of difficulty. When you expect resistance, you prepare for it. You stop seeking comfort and start seeking growth. Obstacles no longer threaten your identity. They refine it. Over time, you build resilience that others lack. While many quit under pressure, you improve under pressure. You become steady because you view challenges as training sessions, not personal attacks. That perspective builds mental strength that compounds year after year. 6. Detach from praise and criticism. Public opinion changes daily. If you depend on approval, you become unstable. Work according to principle, not applause. Let your standards guide you. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself that fame is fleeting and the opinions of others shift quickly. If you anchor your confidence in praise, you will feel strong one day and insecure the next. That instability weakens focus and judgment. Criticism can distract you just as much as praise. When you obsess over negative feedback, you waste energy defending your image instead of improving your character. Stoicism teaches that both praise and blame are external. Neither defines your worth. Build internal standards. Define what integrity means to you. Define what disciplined effort looks like. Evaluate yourself against those measures. This creates stability because your values do not fluctuate with public opinion. When you detach from applause, you gain freedom. You take risks without fear of embarrassment. You improve quietly without craving recognition. Your attention stays on execution, not reputation. Over time, this mindset builds mental strength. You remain calm under criticism and steady under praise. Your identity rests on character and consistent action, not on shifting opinions. That stability allows you to grow without distraction. 7. Remember you will die. Memento mori. Life is short. When you remember that time is limited, you stop wasting it on trivial distractions and meaningless arguments. Mortality sharpens focus. Marcus Aurelius reflected often on death, not to create fear, but to create urgency. He reminded himself that he could leave life at any moment. That awareness forced him to act with intention and integrity each day. Most people live as if time is guaranteed. They delay goals. They postpone difficult conversations. They waste hours on distractions. Reflection on mortality removes that illusion. It exposes how limited your time truly is. When you keep death in mind, priorities become clear. Petty conflicts lose importance. Procrastination feels costly. You begin to focus on meaningful work, strong relationships, and disciplined habits that shape your legacy. Mortality also strengthens courage. When you accept that life is finite, fear of embarrassment or failure loses power. You act decisively because delay serves no purpose. This builds confidence and resilience. Use this principle daily. Ask yourself whether your current actions deserve your limited time. If the answer is no, adjust immediately. When you live with awareness of death, you concentrate on what matters and eliminate what does not. 8. Guard your time. Marcus Aurelius valued time as his most precious asset. Track where your hours go. Reduce unnecessary entertainment. Protect your mornings. Time lost is life lost. Marcus Aurelius understood that even an emperor could not extend his lifespan. Power could not buy more years. That awareness made time more valuable than status or comfort. You face the same limit. Every wasted hour is unrecoverable. Most people underestimate how much time they lose to distraction. Short bursts of scrolling, random videos, and unplanned conversations fragment the day. Track your time for 1 week. Write down where each hour goes. The data will expose leaks in your schedule. Reduce low-value entertainment. This does not mean eliminating rest. It means choosing it intentionally. Schedule leisure instead of letting it interrupt work. When rest has a boundary, productivity improves. Protect your mornings aggressively. Your mental clarity is highest early in the day. Do not surrender that energy to notifications or trivial tasks. Use it for deep work, planning, and skill development. This single habit can transform your output. When you guard your time, you guard your future. Discipline over hours compounds into mastery. You move ahead while others drift. Focus strengthens because your day follows intention, not impulse. 9. Train discomfort. Comfort weakens resolve. Choose difficulty voluntarily. Wake early. Exercise discipline. Finish hard tasks. Discomfort builds resilience. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself that he was not made for comfort, but for action. He resisted the urge to stay in bed and instead rose to fulfill his responsibilities. That daily act of discipline strengthened his character. When you avoid difficulty, your tolerance for effort shrinks. Small challenges begin to feel overwhelming. Voluntary discomfort reverses that pattern. By choosing controlled hardship, you expand your capacity to endure stress and pressure. Start with simple practices. Wake up at a fixed time. Complete your hardest task first. Train your body even when you feel tired. Each time you follow through, you reinforce self-control. Your mind learns that discomfort is temporary and manageable. Discomfort also reduces fear. When you regularly face effort and resistance, unexpected challenges feel less threatening. You respond with calm because you have practiced discipline under strain. Over time, resilience becomes part of your identity. You stop chasing ease. You pursue growth. While others retreat at the first sign of difficulty, you remain steady. That steadiness builds mental strength that carries into every area of life. 10. Build inner stability. If your peace depends on external events, you will never feel secure. Anchor your confidence in character, integrity, self-control, discipline. These cannot be taken from you. Marcus Aurelius faced wars, plagues, and political betrayal, yet he maintained inner calm. His stability came from internal principles, not external approval or circumstances. That mindset protected his judgment and allowed him to act decisively under pressure. Most people anchor happiness in what they cannot control: wealth, praise, or outcomes. When those things fluctuate, so does their sense of self. Stoic stability flips that equation. Anchor in your own choices and virtues. Your inner foundation remains firm regardless of external chaos. Integrity means acting consistently with your principles, even when no one is watching. Self-control means resisting impulses that compromise your long-term goals. Discipline means following through on effort even when motivation fades. These qualities are yours alone. Internal stability also builds resilience. Challenges that would break others become manageable because your equilibrium is internal. You respond instead of react, plan instead of panic, and maintain clarity even in turmoil. When you cultivate inner stability, confidence becomes quiet but unshakable. You no longer chase approval or fear failure. Your energy focuses on what you can control, and your mind becomes a stronghold. That strength shapes decisions, relationships, and results in every area of life. 11. Speak less, act more. Mental strength shows in restraint. Talk less about plans. Execute quietly. Results speak louder than intentions. Marcus Aurelius emphasized that action is more valuable than words. He observed that many people waste energy boasting or over-explaining, while few commit to meaningful work. Words without follow-through create expectation but no progress. Speaking less protects focus. Every conversation about your ambitions diverts mental energy from execution. By keeping plans private, you reduce external pressure and distractions. You also avoid unnecessary judgment that can erode confidence. Execution builds credibility. When others see consistent results, respect and trust naturally follow. You do not need to justify yourself or defend your efforts. Quiet action demonstrates competence better than any explanation. Mental discipline grows when you align speech with action. Avoid overpromising or making excuses. Let your behavior reflect your values. This reduces regret, embarrassment, and wasted energy. Over time, acting more than speaking compounds into a reputation of reliability. People notice results. Your influence grows. Your mind stays focused, unshaken by the noise of external opinions. This principle strengthens both character and authority. 12. Reflect daily. Marcus Aurelius wrote nightly reflections. Ask yourself, what did I do well? Where did I fail? How can I improve? Daily reflection sharpens awareness. Marcus Aurelius used reflection to refine his character and strengthen judgment. Each night, he reviewed his actions, words, and thoughts. He asked whether he acted with integrity, self-control, and purpose. This habit ensured continuous growth and prevented repetition of errors. Most people drift through days without pause. They react to events instead of evaluating them. Without reflection, mistakes go unnoticed, habits weaken, and awareness stagnates. Daily assessment creates a feedback loop that fuels improvement. Reflection builds self-accountability. By honestly examining successes and failures, you take ownership of your behavior. Excuses lose power. Lessons become actionable. You train yourself to correct course immediately rather than waiting for crises to force change. This practice also sharpens foresight. When you review your decisions, you recognize patterns. You notice triggers, weaknesses, and strengths. That insight allows better preparation for future challenges, improving both resilience and judgment. Over time, daily reflection compounds. You become increasingly deliberate in action, more consistent in principle, and stronger in character. Awareness transforms into wisdom, and your mind gains clarity that guides every choice. Reflection makes growth intentional, not accidental. 13. Live according to principles. Without principles, you drift. Define your standards clearly. Act in alignment daily. Consistency builds identity. Identity builds strength. Marcus Aurelius emphasized that a life without guiding principles is vulnerable to chaos. Circumstances change. People fail, and external events are unpredictable. Principles provide a steady compass, keeping actions aligned with virtue rather than convenience. Clarity comes from defining standards. Decide what honesty, courage, discipline, and integrity mean for you. Write them down, review them, and treat them as non-negotiable. When challenges arise, these standards guide your decisions without hesitation. Daily alignment reinforces these principles. Each choice is an opportunity to strengthen identity. When you act according to your values consistently, your behavior and character converge. Over time, acting rightly becomes automatic rather than optional. Consistency compounds. Small decisions, repeated over months and years, Build a stable identity. Your reputation, confidence, and mental resilience all stem from living in harmony with what you believe is right. Principles become the foundation for every thought, word, and action. Living by principles cultivates inner strength that no external force can take. When challenges test your patience, morality, or discipline, you remain unshaken. Identity anchored in principle allows you to navigate life with calm, focus, and confidence, making you mentally strong and resilient. If you apply these 13 Stoic lessons consistently, your life will change, not because the world becomes easier, but because you become stronger. Marcus Aurelius faced war and chaos, yet maintained clarity and discipline. You faced distraction and pressure. The solution remains the same. Control your mind. Do your duty. Accept reality. Build character. If this video helped you, subscribe to this channel now for more Stoic philosophy, mental strength training, and practical lessons from Marcus Aurelius. Commit to daily improvement. Reflect nightly. Stay calm. Stay disciplined. Stay mentally strong.